Hello, my friends. Welcome to Painting with Harold, and I am Harold. And tonight I am going to be starting a series of, this will be a small series, I don't know, probably half dozen at the most. I want to do little different scenes on the canvas that is actually mistakes that beginner painters make. And I want to show you kind of what happens when you make these mistakes and then maybe how to fix the mistakes. So I figure the best place to start is at the very beginning, and that is after you put on your liquid white. You always hear painters say you want a thin, even coat of liquid white. And if you put too much on, what it'll do, and if you put not enough on, what it'll do. Well, I'll tell you simply, if you don't put enough on, you'll know it because you won't hardly be able to get the paint on the canvas. It'll still feel dry. And at that point, the simple fix is just to add a little more liquid white. But now, if you put too much on, that's a totally different story. And I'm going to take a little phthalo blue on my brush, on my 2-inch brush, just like we were fixing to paint a painting. And I'm going to come right up here. Now I have too much liquid white on this corner over here. I already know that. I did it on purpose. So we're going to start in this corner. And when we start, we always say we want our corners dark or darker. And then when you come across the canvas with your paint, when it starts hitting that liquid white, you can see it change colors. It'll start getting lighter. But when you get over here and there's too much liquid white, look at that. It just faded out to nothing almost. And then look at your brush. Your brushes went and just picked up all that liquid white. If you can even tell on here how much it picked up. And you can see the color went from here to a dark, rich blue, over here to just almost nothing. Almost white. Now this is how you fix that problem. Take that 2-inch brush, and if you got several brushes, you can use another one at this point, or you can just simply get ready to wash that one. But in the meantime, take your paper towel and fold it like so, and come up and just wipe across that canvas, and you go removing that color. Now, since you don't know how much liquid white you actually have on here, that's too much, just come down and just wipe off several little places. Now, do not go back up here and add more liquid white, because once you take off liquid white, you're still left with the oil that's in the teeth. It's rather than just about wiping the whole canvas down, you're just about not gonna be able to get the oil out of that canvas. That oil is in there. It's there. And the main purpose for it is just to help you get the paint on the canvas easier and to help you blend colors. So now we're going to come right back into our blue again. Same phthalo blue. And we'll start over here this time. And then look at our color now. It just matches right up with the other. Just like so. Now, when doing a sky, since we're on the subject of sky, you always hear you want to leave a little light in the sky in different places. Okay, well, let's say you don't do that. Let's say you come up here and you just make a sky. Just a solid blue sky. And you forgot all about leaving light spots up here. You know, you just didn't do it. You totally forgot. You're like, oh man. Well, see how that makes your sky look? The sky just looks flat right there. It has no life in it at all. Well, if you do that, all you got to do is take the same paper towel you had that you just wiped the thinner out of that 2-inch brush with, and just knock all the paint out of it that you can. You don't have to wash it. Just knock a lot of the blue out. That's all you got to do. And then come over here and just tap it, a corner of it, just like so, into titanium white. And then come up to your sky and just touch you a couple spots here and there. That's all you got to do. And then knock that color back out. And then when you come back up with your figure 8 or your crisscross strokes, watch what that white does. See, it gave you some light spots. And if it didn't give you enough, well, just get you a little more white. Come up, put you some more on. And just work it in. Just real lightly, work it in. Now, let's say you put that on like that and you say, well, that's a little too much white. Well, you can go back and get you some blue. But you can work with the color of oil paint. Once you got it on the canvas, you can work with it back and forth until you get a desired application. I mean, that's the thing of it. Oil paint is so forgiving. And then once you do that, you have your light spots and your dark spots. And that gives your sky a little life. Now, you don't want to keep too much paint in your brush, so when you start coming down and you start getting close to the horizon, paint will start getting lighter and lighter. Just like so. And that's what you want it to do. You want it to get lighter. Now, if you got too much paint in your brush and you get down here and it ends up too dark, well, just take some white, brush it on till you get it as light as you want it. And then come back up and just lightly blend across. Just lightly blend across. Now, a big mistake a lot of people make is in these corners where they got them dark, but now they just look like little dark blobs of paint up there. Well, come and kind of blend those colors in to your paint. Just kind of pull them on in. Leave them dark, but kind of pull those colors on in. And now they blend in to the painting. They don't just look like dark blue corners sitting up there. And then lightly blend out. And when you blend, always blend from the light to the dark. That way you're not blending from the dark down and you pull dark color down here. You want to leave this light toward the horizon. And that should help you get the base for a better sky. Just by following those simple tips right there. And like I said, if you get too much, you've seen how to fix it. If you get too little, well, you'll know that because it'll start getting real grabby and blotchy looking. And it'll just feel dry. Well, then you just come back and add a little more liquid white. Very little. Because it don't take a lot. But we'll call this one part 1 of making mistakes. And we'll do part 2 next.